flame.
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Fight is fun!
In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
These are devils. I'll crush them all.
Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
The toxic world of Genshin Impact.
Because at
Oh,
the end
man.
of the day, I think my biggest problem with this game comes down to purpose.
Yep.
And that is there is no purpose to
Very
Genshin
true.
Impact.
Yeah, and if you say that, I can't tell you how many snot-nosed, pencil-necked dorks on Twitter will have a fifth life crisis the moment you say that. But, like, I have just bought into the copium. I literally have. I'm just like, yeah, you're right. The point of the game is nothing. And now I play the game for maybe 2-3 hours every 6 weeks, and I get everything I want out of it. Which is just, I play it for the story. When 4.3 comes out and there's no story, I'm just going to skip the whole thing. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to pull on another character, because even now I'm regretting pulling from Nearby Light and Farina, because I just don't. Here's a
Dad got a credit card deal of $20,000 Singapore dollars. Thanks to
Okay.
his daughter spending it all on Genshin Impact.
I've gone so far as get an email about someone pretending that they have cancer or even one of their children has cancer.
Yep.
Someone said, my child has cancer. Their only wish is to get Ganyu. That's just someone faking it, trying to get a character.
To sum it up, Genshin is an amazing
well, no, that wasn't faking it. It was my child, Tashed, and they died. They died because of him. They died with a life unfulfilled because they never got their Ganyu. And you know what? It's Tash's fault.
game that I can't recommend to anyone.
Exploring a vast world for the first time is a magical experience for a lot of gamers. But for these open world games, it's not just the size of their maps that's huge. It's the cost to make them. While making their own open world role-playing game, the game company called HoYoverse made a huge gamble. They spent over $100 million to develop Genshin Impact, only to make it free to play. Genshin Impact is among the most expensive video games to be developed of all time. So if it failed,
I heard that's true as well.
The end of HoYoverse. What made this gamble even riskier was that before this, HoYoverse only ever made mobile games. But Genshin Impact was being made for mobile and major gaming platforms. But the gamble paid off. In just 2 years since its launch, Genshin Impact made $4 billion. Its achievement was unlike anything the gaming world has seen before.
Oh, absolutely. And we will most likely never see anything like that ever again, because the next time a game comes out, there's not going to be a global pandemic coming out.
Success wasn't always a smooth road. Before we start, I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. So
Thanks,
today
homie.
we'll be looking at the insane world of Genshin Impact and the craziness of its community.
Okay, let's see.
The dangers of Genshin in real life.
What the f does that even mean? What did they do? Huh? Okay. What if HoYoverse started the pandemic for Genshin Impact's launch? I mean, shit, I wouldn't put anything past that company, man. Go off, King.
On September 28th, 2020, Genshin Impact was released, quickly rising to the top of every known ranking, downloads, revenue, awards. But in order to stay at the top, the game had to keep things fresh. HoYoverse wasn't just looking to make a splash in the gaming scene, but beyond it as well.
Yeah, tsunami.
2021, Genshin Impact teamed up with KFC and
Why you gotta remind me? Why you gotta remind me of this shit, man? Man, first Arknights, now Genshin Impact. That's some bullshit, bro. That's some bullshit.
China for the game's first ever collaboration. Genshin Impact characters dressed up for the occasion, promoting KFC combo meals that came with in-game rewards. During this time, players who bought a special KFC combo meal could redeem an in-game item called the Wings of Feasting. There was no other way of getting this item, so Chinese players went to their local KFC outlets in droves. The event was so successful that it became dangerous, with players overcrowding in the KFC stores.
Oh god, I just realized, man. All those Genshin Impact players in the real world together. Oh man, that. Jesus, can you imagine the smell? God damn, fried chicken and BO. Good God, that's horrifying, man. I got those wings, I believe. I believe I got someone to go to KFC in China to give me their code, I think.
And a threat to public safety. Police needed to get involved and shut down KFC establishments.
Shut it down! They're stealing all the mint and berries in the local vicinity.
Many camped outside.
Someone debunked this video? Oh shit. I guess we'll have to see what Steam Bun said after all this shit. But for now, I don't care. But we'll watch it after.
Of KFC stores just to be in the front of the line. In the end, getting the police involved was the right choice because the stores were so crowded, people started to commit crimes like stealing character display stands from the store.
Amidst all the chaos, people started stealing Noel cutout. People that were successful in the Noel cutout heist started selling them online.
Just a few months in—
What the f— Hey, I did that. I did that to a bump cutout. Hey man, they just like me, bro. I probably would have stole the Noel in real life too, to be honest.
To Genshin Impact's
That's
release,
rare
became
loot.
so popular that crowds at real-world events could not be controlled. So on August 29th, 2022, when Genshin Impact had a new collaboration with Pizza Hut in China, players should have already learned their lesson.
I didn't even hear about this.
Is that true that cops actually shutting down Genshin Impact collaboration event with Pizza Hut? That was the case.
Once again, history repeated itself.
What?
Genshin Impact players crowded around around the Pizza Hut stores, becoming a danger to themselves and the people around them. Police had to shut down some of the Pizza Hut joints for the same reason as last time: public safety. Even in Genshin Impact events outside.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how powerful they are too? Like, can you imagine how strong these humans must be in real life when they have their E6 staff of Homa in real life, or sorry, C6, R5. Oh my God, I played too many Hoyoverse games. E6, R5, C7, Z9. You know what? The joke's gonna miss, whatever.
Of China, there was always new players causing problems.
There was a girl in the Philippines who stole a cardboard cutout of Klee in the Hoyo Fest Cafe collab last December. She openly admitted to stealing it.
But stealing is nothing compared to some of the horrible things some event attendees have done.
What happened?
People had to evacuate again.
Okay, I will be real. The cutout thing, I don't really care. To be honest, I think it's funny. That's just me, though. I think stealing is funny. That's why I steal people's content on the internet.
Genshin Impact event in Seoul, Korea, after someone tweeted that they would set off a homemade explosive there. The actions of these Genshin Impact players don't reflect the entire community.
Yeah, we remember that. I remember people were angry at me for reporting on that. Y'all remember that? I remember. These people were absolutely nuts
As a whole. But this is what happens occasionally when a lot of players gather together in real life. Thankfully, from these in-person events, we couldn't find any reports of people ending up with lasting consequences.
Yep.
But that's only the beginning of what crazy Genshin Impact fans are capable of, because as you continue watching this video, some of these stories will make you question just how far they can really go. The corrupt sponsorships.
Oh man, these were bad. And I always love these other content saying, oh, this isn't true, this isn't true. I've literally shown the contracts on stream. Like the fact that you can't play games that aren't Hoyoverse, you can't badmouth the product, positive vibes only. And then there's people who are like, oh bro, these people are so wholesome, they're so positive. Yeah, because they're paid to be that way. It's really not that shocking. Oh my God, are you telling me the guy who's being paid tens of thousands of dollars every month is nice about the game? Oh my God. And you know what the crazy thing is? I was the only mother talk about it. It's insane.
When Genshin Impact teamed up with KFC China for collaboration, players in countries outside of China felt left out. So Hoyoverse came up with a plan. On November 25th, 2021, players from the global region finally had the chance to get the Wings of Feasting item from the KFC China collab. By teaming up with Genshin Impact Twitch streamers from around the world, Hoyoverse gave out the Wings of Feasting through their new web event called the Adventurers Guild on Twitch. Their plan was to get the player.
Hey, that's right. You know what's crazy? He showed the one mother who does not play this shit anymore. World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft, World of Warcraft. That's crazy how bro pulls me. Hey, for that I gotta give you a like. Damn, bro. I heard about this. Hey, good call, man. Hey. Number one super featured, my ass. Smart.
Player base to support Twitch streamers. On paper, this was a great move for the community, because players who bought paid subscriptions to selected Twitch streamers could get the Wings of Feasting, while streamers could get more subs. Win-win. But once again, it was too good to be true. While almost everyone loves eating KFC, not everyone loves Twitch streamers. A lot of players were upset that they had to spend money to subscribe to streamers that they'll never watch. But the real problem was what the streamers had to face. Twitch streamers Tectone exposed a contract offered by Hoyoverse for them to be an eligible streamer for this event.
Yeah, you're welcome, by the way. Hey, number one rat. Number one bro. Why the not? Okay, what? Dude. You think I'm gonna let these scumbag corporation policies not go unnoticed? Yeah, right. I'm gonna say what needs to be said. Finally, someone who gets it.
It's a 2-week exclusivity contract, which means you can only stream Genshin Impact for 2 weeks, no other games. And here's the thing for payment: $0.
On top of not being paid.
Yep. Do you get how f***ed up that is? 2-week exclusivity for free. What, dude, like, the fact that people are cool with that is just about the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And you know what's crazy? Still, no one called him out on that.
Hey, Twitch streamers were not allowed to accept other sponsorships or talk negatively about Genshin Impact. Other creators also spoke up against Hoyoverse's contract, resurfacing the community's anger toward the company. But amidst the backlash Hoyoverse was facing, innocent content creators were caught in the crossfire.
People aren't gonna like the fact they used my ass as innocent content creators. I like this guy. I like this guy. You see that guy's I'm innocent. I told you. Hey, what can I say? You know, the claims against Dick Tone are just f***ed up. What is this? I just came back to Genshin on 42 because of daily. I ain't reading all this. I received many DMs on Discord and Twitter threatening that they'll unfollow or unsub if I have signed the contract for the new KFC wing event. I hope you all don't do this to other content creators regardless of their channel size. Yeah, I remember there was certain content creators who work very hand in hand with the company now that really did not like me voicing my concerns. I remember that very, very, very clearly. These corporate dick suckers that were like, oh no, they can't do anything wrong. What are you saying, Tectone? Man, shit is so ridiculous. Absolutely so ridiculous. Losers.
Genshin Impact player.
Like, do people not get how it is to offer 2-week exclusivity for 0 pay? For 0. Let me read that. For 0 guaranteed pay. 2 weeks exclusivity. And let's just be real, guys. Whoever's in the top left corner of Genshin Impact would have gotten a ton of money, and that would have been me, and even I'm upset about it because I don't like that shit. I'm gonna just break it down for you real quick. 2 weeks exclusivity. There's 14 days. 14 days times 24 hours. Okay, now let's actually do 14 times 12. Okay, that's about how many hours somebody could stream if they wanted to go 12 hours every day. Generally, the hourly rate for someone in around the 2 to 3K viewers category is about $2,000 an hour per sponsorship, which means, yeah, that's a lot of money they could have got doing whatever the they want if they could accept sponsors during that time. So that's how much a corporation would pay for 2-week exclusivity of just one game, but instead they offer $0 in here. Sell my wings for me, and you can clap back with that however much you want, but if you don't know how Twitch sponsorships work, you don't know how they work, but that is the reality.
Players flooded Twitter to attack any content creators who accepted the contract, threatening to unsubscribe from them.
There's a lot of people in the Genshin community, smaller Genshin content creators, who reached out to me via Discord, Twitter DM, and they said that they are very anxious about this. And that they're terrified that they accepted the program, right? And they're terrified about what's to come because of how Genshin community retaliated towards this.
In the end,
yeah, can you imagine that maybe people are uncomfortable with the fact, or would have been uncomfortable with the fact, knowing that no matter what they did, their streamer had to play a game and could only speak positive about it for 2 weeks. Who would accept that? Who would accept that you have to be disingenuous entirely with the product, with your audience for 2 weeks straight? Me personally, I feel the value of my criticism is very, very, very high. And I know a lot of people don't like that, but I can't just sit there for 2 weeks and be a hollow shell of a man mindlessly peddling a product, hoping to get some subs to give out in-game wings. Now, sure, if it's a 90-second integration, why the not? Just press skip the ad. Or, shit, maybe for 2 hours I'll do a sponsored stream. But for 2 weeks, that's insane. My opinion.
The adventure.
Thankfully, they have not done this. I believe the Genshin Impact contracts are expiring this month, and people are actually going to be able to say whatever it is they want to say once December's over, and that will be great. That'll be a fresh awakening for a lot of people who more or less are seen to be seen as positive vibe streamers. But I believe the Genshin Impact contracts are almost up, and I believe January a lot of dirty laundry is going to be aired. But that's my opinion.
Adventurers Guild on Twitch event divided the community instead of bringing them together. Hoyoverse never responded to the backlash from this event, while streamers suffered the wrath of angry Genshin Impact players. players. Sadly, this isn't the only time that innocent creators had to pay the price for Hoyoverse's actions. The consequences of
No, that's bullshit. That is not okay. I'm gonna disagree with this. That was not Hoyoverse's. That's not Hoyoverse's fault. That is creators' fault for agreeing to being in that contract. Nobody was forced to do that. Now, obviously, it was very advantageous. It was, but I didn't sign the contract because I actually like being truthful with the people who I stream to. But it is and it isn't, right? It's like Mizkif killing Emaru. It's like 80% the content creator's fault, 20% Hoyoverse's fault. But that's just my opinion. And what I really don't get is, I don't understand how Hoyoverse has done such a flawless job of handling a game like Honkai Star Rail, but just completely shits the bed with Genshin. I just truly don't get it. Truthful? Okay, well, name a lie.
Being a voice actor. So far, Hoyoverse's ambitious ideas led to real-world mayhem. But unlike the frenzy of Genshin fans at KFC, there's another service that delivers harmony with every meal. Cook Unity. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-you meal delivery service, made up of over 70 chefs who believe that...
Oh, so it's bad when they do a sponsor, huh? Okay, let me explain to you why. Because I want to double down a little. I'm going to circle back. I'm going to skip a sponsor. Congrats on getting paid for this sponsorship. The reason why accepting a sponsorship that limits what you can or cannot say, and also for accepting a sponsor for $0 when you're a big streamer means that everyone else beneath you is also going to have to accept those terms, because you're essentially going to get strong-armed by that company saying, well, Enviosity accepted the contract, well, Atsu accepted the contract, and, you know, they have this many viewers, so now you should do the same, because if the big streamers did it, you should do it. And then other people will also think, well, these big streamers are doing it, so maybe it's not so bad. But the problem is, it's weaponized ignorance. It's one of the dumbest mistakes that's ever been done in the entire community, because we could have just mass rejected it and forced Hoyoverse to actually compensate us for our time. Imagine that. But instead, it's just like, well, the big streamers did it, so, you'll do it for free, jackass. Now get back to work, you slave. It's bad. It's bad. It is literally do this job for us for free. That doesn't sound too good now, does it? Sorry, this shit still pisses me off. I forgot about this shit. This shit still pisses me off.
Acting in their teens. Like a lot of voice actors, Anjali's career started out with minor roles in different films and games. In 2021, Anjali auditioned for Genshin Impact.
Hoyoverse has the contract term for sponsorship. Necron and Agman have the freedom to critique the game. Now. They have that freedom now. Wasn't always that way, man. And it also wasn't always for every person who has that right. It's very different.
Became the voice of a few NPCs in the game. But as Genshin Impact grew with more updates, so too did Anjali's career. Anjali kept auditioning for more roles in the game and eventually landed the opportunity to voice Dori, a character for Genshin Impact's Sumeru expansion. What originally felt like a dream come true, Anjali soon discovered that it would turn into a nightmare. What was
because you just realized she's a Diona skin.
Supposed to be a new character's exciting announcement ended up to be a mob of upset players over the casting of Dori. The new map drew strong inspiration from South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures, leading some players to accuse Hoyoverse of engaging in cultural appropriation.
Oh my god! What? Oh my god, we're getting upset about culture. Okay, let's see what they did. Let's see what they culturally appropriated. Let's see.
Anjali faced criticism merely for providing the voice of one of the characters.
Yep.
After announcing that they were the voice of Dori, Anjali received inappropriate messages from angry players. At first, Anjali ignored these messages by blocking them, but as the hate grew, they had to turn off DMs. Anjali's story is just one of the many incidents where the Genshin Impact community directed their hate towards the voice actors. Zach Aguilar, the voice of Ether in Genshin Impact, called out players over the repeated harassment the voice actors got on Twitter after he hosted an...
I hate this whole idea that white people are the only people allowed to voice white characters. Black people are only allowed to voice black characters, and it has to be exactly the same. It's like, okay, well, what do you want us to do for an orc? Do you want us to get a real orc to voice a orc? What do you want us to do for a gnome? Midgets, only midgets are allowed to voice gnomes. What if God's in the game? We have to go to heaven and get God's role. You know how expensive that is? It's just stupid. It's fantasy. It really is not that deep. And if you want to voice a Tauren, you have to be a cow in real life, so call your mother.
An official Genshin Impact live stream. The poor treatment Genshin Impact voice actors get from the community isn't exclusive to the English dub. Wei Niang, who voiced Kokomi in the Chinese dub of Genshin Impact, had to restrict her live stream because players were unhappy about the character she voiced.
Some losers, some actual degenerates, went out of their way to harass the voice actress, the Chinese voice actress for the character, and end up having her...
They send Kokomi death threats because she wasn't that good in the game. So they said, you voice this character in the game that's not good, so we're going to kill you. This shit is madness. It is absolutely madness.
Like, shut down harassment on her live stream.
Even though all the complaints come from a vocal minority, it paints a bad picture for the entire Genshin Impact community.
Yeah, it paints a very bad picture because the problem is this quote-unquote vocal minority was heavily fed into, and I mean that generally, heavily fed into and completely unmitigated. That was the problem, because people always dismiss this shit as the vocal minority. But the problem is, if people don't speak out against it, if people don't attempt to mitigate it, is it gonna go away? No. People's idea to shut down the hate and toxicity and the actual threat to people's real life safety and security was, oh, just ignore it, it'll go away, you bunch of silly heads. And now, guess what, in 2023, yep, now they're speaking out against it, but maybe if they would have listened to my advice to begin with, maybe things wouldn't have ever gotten to the point that it ever got to. Surprise, surprise. It is ridiculous. The same people who pushed back against me are now entirely following my advice. It's just so frustrating how I have to wait for these people to pull their head out of their ass to realize, hey, maybe Tecton was trying to help the whole time, but oh well, he's bald and angry, so maybe he's just a big old bully. I can't help that I look like the guy who shoved you in lockers when you were kids. I can't help that shit, but it's really not that deep. How do you get people to stop? Oh man, crazy idea. Tell them to stop. Insane. Absolutely insane.
This ruins the experience for not only people who aren't toxic, but also voice actors themselves.
Yep.
They'll see what's been happening to voice actors throughout the years, and they won't want to voice act in Genshin Impact, simply because they don't want to get attacked and harassed by a community when they've done nothing wrong.
True.
In the end, Genshin Impact players attacking voice actors is just a symptom of a major problem brewing between the community and Hoyoverse.
Yeah, it's called mental illness.
It's the company behind the game. In our next chapter, you'll find out just how far Hoyoverse goes to control the content in the game.
Okay.
The bubble diaper situation.
What?
On August 16th, 2023, Genshin Impact Update 4.0 added the new region of Fontaine to the game. While the community welcomed the new content with open arms, there was one feature that players found to be very annoying. When you swim underwater in the game, it causes a bubble effect to appear around their character's hips. The effect was noticeable
and it looks so bad, bro.
and started to grab the attention of
It
the
looks
Genshin
so
Impact.
bad.
This effect was known as the bubble diaper. Many claim that its intention was to cover up the rear end of characters, and a lot of players found this to be distracting.
And this ain't just on the female characters, no, this is on the male characters too. Fully dressed, well dressed, you know, not showing anything male characters.
Unlike Western games, Genshin Impact has greater restrictions as a Chinese video game. While Hoyoverse has to follow the rules set by the Chinese Communist Party, their attempt to cover up in Genshin Impact appears to be a lot worse compared to other Chinese video games. With China's video game regulations growing stricter in recent years, players outside of China are worried that they'd also get hit with more rounds of cover-up similar to the bubble diaper incident. But it isn't just graphics. Players realized that their words were being censored too.
It's crazy because I don't think he's gonna know about the beta to launch of Genshin Impact. Before, you could climb up mountains and like look at all angles, but now when you look at an upward angle at the character's ass, it goes completely see-through. So that way you can't look at butt cheeks. God forbid. God forbid you see the character's pants or underwear. Oh my god.
It censors tank. I wonder why. Tank? It actually does!
The censorship wasn't just limited to words like Taiwan and Hong Kong. Even
Yeah, I wonder why they censored the word tank, guys. I wonder why. I I wonder why.
Words that are important for in-game communication, like enemies, can't be seen. This list only appears to be growing. A study conducted on 200 different Chinese mobile games revealed over 180,000 blacklisted keywords. However, what truly aggravates
I can't even believe there's 180,000 words in real life. That's insane to me.
The community goes beyond the in-game censorship. It's the persistent feeling that their concerns are constantly overlooked. Genshin Impact's Discord is notorious for silencing players, making it difficult for them to voice their opinions when it comes to problems about the game.
I remember this is actually crazy, there was actually a bunch of individuals who were shit-talking Mtash, and then Mtash defended himself against those people who were shit-talking him, and then he got banned. That is what was the craziest shit.
Because Hoyoverse hardly addresses the community's complaints, players often use this lack of communication to justify their actions, such as bullying innocent parties, as we've seen with voice actors. But some problems would be bad for Hoyoverse to ignore, because there was one incident that left hundreds of players with a permanently damaged game. The hack that destroyed the game. Even though Genshin Impact is mainly a single-player experience, it does have co-op features. Players have the option to enter.
Is this the delete domain shit?
Their friend's world, where they can assist with various tasks like tackling in-game quests and challenges for some engaging gameplay. It's all about shared fun until August 2023. In what turned into a bleak chapter of Genshin Impact's story, teaming up in co-op mode suddenly became the one thing that you really didn't want to do if you cared about your account. During this period, Chinese players panicked. They realized that in-game objects like treasure chests were permanently missing. Some of these in-game objects were important for story progression, and without them, they couldn't explore the rest of the game. The cause of these disappearing objects could be tied to one playable character, Kaveh. Some players used a third-party software to hack Kaveh, giving him an ability to permanently delete almost anything from the game, even NPCs, which erupted chaos between Chinese and English-speaking players alike took to online platforms, warning everyone not to enable the co-op feature. Once a Kaveh hacker deletes your game files, it's gone for good. Not even reinstalling Genshin Impact would bring it back.
Some of the Chinese servers, videos have been going around showing Kaveh deletes stuff like chats, statues, NPCs, etc. While it looks hilarious, repairing or reinstalling your game doesn't fix it.
But even with video clips circulating online, some Genshin Impact players
Did Hoyoverse fix this? I actually don't remember if they ever fixed this for players who got their shit deleted.
Thought that the Kaveh hack was fake. One player even recorded footage of them deleting objects with Nahida, a different character, only to admit later that it was fake. With so much conflicting information spreading around, nobody knew for sure if the Kaveh hack was real or fake, except Hoyoverse. On August 28th, 2023, Genshin Impact's official Reddit account made a post revealing that the Kaveh hack was indeed real. Just a week after videos of the hack circulated online, Hoyoverse quickly fixed the hack. Thankfully, players who were affected by the hack had their accounts restored to normal. Hoyoverse also banned the hackers and are pursuing legal action against them. While we aren't sure what happened to the hackers, it's likely that they'll be punished pretty severely.
They all got killed. Let's be real, bro. You pull that shit on China's biggest cash cow, bro, you are being executed on the goddamn spot. I remember when I used to play Genshin Impact, and I was so drilled in by so many people that what I was saying was bad, that there were moments where I was like, yeah, someone's probably gonna kill me if I ever run into a Genshin Impact player in real life. That's how, like, hush anybody actually spitting, like, the truth at all would be punished.
Lawsuits aren't to be taken lightly, especially with Hoyoverse, because in this next situation, getting sued by Hoyoverse is comparable to being caught as an enemy spy.
What?
$70,000 fine. We already learned in the previous chapter that Genshin Impact is mainly a single-player experience with limited co-op features. But some players in the community take it far more seriously than multiplayer games. Major updates usually add new characters, so players want to know if it's worth spending premium in-game currency to unlock them. That's why a large portion of the community would do everything they can to find out what's happening in the next update. One of these people is Xing Hare, a Chinese Genshin Impact player. In January 2022, he got access access to the Genshin Impact version 2.5 private beta test. After signing an NDA, Xinghe was able to experience all the new features ahead of regular players. Wanting to share his new discoveries, Xing recorded his gameplay and shared it to his friend, but that...
Well, I mean, I feel like this was majorly Hoyoverse's fault by giving out a bunch of beta keys to these random dump. Because I'll be real, their security is so beyond piss poor. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'll be real. For Genshin Impact, for Honkai Star Rail, I know everything that's happening until like 3.0 and 6.0. I mean, I just don't know how a company is so bad when they hate leaks so much, but they just like leak everything.
That was a terrible decision that cost him everything. His friend shared the gameplay online, breaching the NDA that Xing signed. Hoyoverse tracked down the source of the footage right back to
oh my god, down to his motorcycle?
Xinghe and sued him for 500,000 Chinese yuan, or about 70,000 US dollars.
That's not bad.
The fine you'd expect for someone caught spying in China. In a post he made
That's crazy.
online, Xing revealed how betrayed he felt because of his friend. About the leak, I've always been very careful. That friend I've known for years. I trusted him and told him not to spread it to outside sources, but I didn't think that I would get backstabbed today. Xing also revealed that he doesn't have the means to pay the fine worth $70,000. While we aren't sure what happened to him after he
also got killed.
In this post, we're sure of
He
one
died.
thing. Hoyoverse takes data breaches very seriously. Back in 20...
You breach their data, they breach your skull with a bullet.
In 21, Hoyoverse made it clear that they weren't messing around, going after 7 players with lawsuits each at around 70,000 US dollars.
God mother damn.
Content of the game. And just when the leaks wouldn't stop coming, in October 2022, Hoyoverse suffered a massive data breach. Not only were 36 weeks of upcoming content exposed to the public, but employee information was leaked.
The leak
which led many
tsunami.
people wondering, maybe it didn't take too much effort to actually breach Hoyoverse's security. A 4chan user in June 2023 leaked so much Genshin Impact artwork that the user even insulted Hoyoverse for their incompetence.
Yep.
You are a multi-million company. To tighten your security, you do not...
Hacks your shit, leaks your next 36 weeks of content, then calls you an idiot. Holy shit, this guy's fucking based.
However, your company is so open to how easy it is to breach, so it's just a matter of time before somebody creates their own art book. You should try and get a profit at least. It turns out Hoyoverse's cybersecurity has been a problem since the very beginning of Genshin Impact. Security options like two-factor authentication weren't available for mobile devices, and on October 19th, 2020, not even 2 months into the game's release, hackers were able to steal player phone numbers through the Hoyoverse website. This issue was only fixed on November 9th, 2020, but it took them almost an entire year to finally add two-factor authentication in May 2021. Hoyoverse may be taking harsh action against those who leak confidential information, but it's nothing compared to what China would do to Genshin Impact creators who go against them. Because sometimes just making the wrong kind of Genshin Impact videos could land you in prison. 10 years in prison over Genshin Impact.
Is this for the... Oh, wait, this has got to be for the... Oh, man, this guy made good shit, too. Oh, my God.
On January 18, 2022, Italian physicist Giorgio Parisi was on the verge of a major milestone in his life. He was about to receive his Nobel Prize from the Italian Senate over a Zoom meeting. But unfortunately, his achievement would never be remembered as an honorable moment.
What is happening?
Instead, probably one of the most embarrassing moments in Zoom call history. Somebody managed to hijack the call and played an inappropriate video of Final Fantasy VII's Tifa Lockhart. This moment became a legendary internet meme overnight. But what a lot of people don't remember is that seconds before the Zoom hijacker was removed, he played a clip of Zhang Ling from Genshin Impact as well. While Zhang Ling didn't share the same meme status that Tifa did, this might have been for the best, because the animator for the Zhang Ling Not Safe for Work video was about to get into serious trouble. Shirakami, the animator, has a Twitter following of over 560.
God damn, bro. I wonder, do they still make anything? Are they free yet? Oh my God. They haven't posted anything since December 3rd, 2022. Man, they made some of the best Genshin by far, bro. That's a mother travesty. They are actually in jail for 10 years. Well, that being said, in 2033 when they're out, bro, I'm telling you, man, there's gonna be another boom.
And rose to online fame with his inappropriate Genshin Impact animations. However, he mysteriously went silent and vanished from the internet on December 12th.
Imagine that. I would be pissed.
It wasn't until 6 months later
jail
that
for
his
10
fans would
years for
uncover
making
behind his sudden disappearance.
That's
in July
crazy
2023, Shirakami was arrested in China for violating censorship laws.
That's
he could
insane.
potentially face up to 10 years in prison for distributing and profiting off of inappropriate material. His Patreon raked in over 1,830,000 Chinese yuan, or about $250,000 US, which Chinese authorities deemed as unlawful. Shirakami's arrest struck fear in the community of Chinese NSFW creators. Some of them even deleted their accounts, afraid that they would end up the same way.
Now, I will say, I've heard that this was for tax evasion, not so much Genshin, but man, does it make a good story.
Shirakami's story serves as a reminder that working on the wrong kind of Genshin Impact content can get you in trouble. But even
in my opinion, it's the only right type of Genshin Impact content, but that's just me.
If you're innocent, just working for Genshin Impact can be a problem. For one unlucky Hoyoverse staff member, her first day on the job was thrown into chaos thanks to the Genshin Impact community. The worst job ever.
Oh.
We've already revealed earlier in this video that Hoyoverse is infamous for not responding to their player base. But what if you had the power to change that? Janice rose to the opportunity to do just that. After 5 years of working at Bandai Namco Entertainment Asia as their social media and PR manager, Janice made a major career move. On September 28, 2021, she joined Hoyoverse as their new global PR manager. But on the first day of her job, Janice had to deal with gaming's worst PR disaster of all time. Genshin Impact's first anniversary event for the Genshin Impact community.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn, I do not envy her ass. That is a mother shame. Ooh, yeah, that's a real rough one. So what was so bad about the first anniversary, man? Oh yeah, what was it, like 200 primos for 1 year of playing Genshin?
The anniversary event was the final straw that broke the camel's back. Throughout the year, Hoyoverse responded with silence whenever the community aired their frustrations toward earlier updates. So when the anniversary event was revealed and it offered players little to no changes, they were more upset than ever.
Unlucky.
Whenever the servers go down for maintenance, players are given an average of 300 Primo Gems as a form of compensation.
Yep.
You are getting more Primo Gems here compared to the rewards of the game's 1 year anniversary.
The anniversary
Crazy saying it out loud.
Gems, the game's premium currency, if they took part in a social media event. Clearly, this wasn't even given freely in-game, and it's not what the community wanted. Once again, Hoyoverse ignored the player base's disappointment toward the anniversary.
That's wild.
But this time, the players fought back. Janice suddenly found herself dealing with the biggest protest in Genshin history. From 4.6 stars on the Google Play Store to 1.9 stars, Genshin Impact.
No, I want to make it very clear on my stance on the 1 year anniversary. I think the review bombing was good when it stayed contained to Genshin Impact. I don't support it when they go and downvote Google Classroom and other mobile games that had nothing to do with it, so far as leaving comments in other games directories, because it was just cringe.
Was getting review bombed.
I mean, good grief, look at all the negative reviews they've had over this anniversary event, and that's the crazy thing about it, it's so absurd.
No, it's not. It's actually completely based. I mean, that's a joke. 1 year anniversary, we get like, what, 200 primos? No, that's ridiculous. They deserve the review bombing 1,000,000%.
But it didn't stop there. Not only were players giving 1-star reviews to Hoyoverse's other games, but even random apps like Google Classroom were left with angry reviews, putting the blame on Genshin Impact. On platforms like Discord, mods were dealing with criticism of the anniversary event, which made the community push even further by spamming the Discord server, flooding every channel with stickers.
They had to lock that shit down, boys.
To clean up the mess from this anniversary event. It was the aftermath of Hoyoverse's lack of communication throughout the year. As one Reddit.
And you know what's crazy? It started off so promising. They used to have this thing called a roadmap where they would let you know what's coming up next in the future updates, but then they got rid of that shit, man. I mean, imagine that players respect companies that communicate with their fucking audience. But the problem is that the Hoyoverse just does not do that for Genshin Impact.
Editor puts it, it's not the lack of rewards, it's the silence. Genshin Impact's community really crossed the line when Janice, on the first day of her job, became a target for the players as well. Comments on the article congratulating Janice for joining Hoyoverse had to be locked due to all the negative comments. Even the article itself was removed. In the end, the backlash was too much for Hoyoverse to handle. The company gave in and broke the...
Well, that's what you get for messing with my waifus, Janice. Take this. It's your fault.
Silence, promising more rewards for the players. But at this point, it was too late. The community felt like these new rewards weren't given out for the anniversary, but were given out for damage control. Because of her experience at Hoyoverse, Janice left the company. For many, working at a big game studio